Hey everyone, so today's video is focused on retail World of Warcraft. Yep, that's right, retail. I've been threatening you with this for quite some time now. My second ever video on the subject, and today I'm feeling slightly less glittery than last time, as I'm mostly just running around Mr. Pandaria spamming Q, which is my keybind for spinning kick. When the War Within comes out, I've decided I definitely want to give it a shot, but as you may remember from my last retail video, my account is in absolute shambles. I was a bit worried that as a classic player I'd have no high level characters for the War Within, everything would take me forever and I've made bad choices on my class. As right now I'm basically Warcraft homeless, my characters are a mess, I lack all the coolest transmog, and I have literally no idea how to play. When I finally found something I thought was cool, I really liked Evoker. I didn't like the stupid dragon form. Wait, that was a bit harsh. Look, I'm sorry if you like the dragons. They are just a bit funny looking to me. And I'm deeply ashamed, but I'll come clean here and say I prefer playing pretty characters, not some great big dragon lummoxes that aren't even scary. But the War Within is coming soon. I briefly held some copium that I might be able to keep Visage on all the time and never need to go into dragon form. But that's basically gone now, so I don't even know what class to play. I do, however, know that I want to make gold. Loads of gold. I currently have around 700,000, but in retail terms, that is pretty low. Alright, very low. I'm basically in poverty over there. I'm not a massive farmer, and the retail profession systems are hyper confusing to me. But having had an initial look through, I'm pretty sure I do actually like the look of them, and I think that's something that I can definitely work with. The talent points really stand out as such an interesting system. Work orders is something that's interested me for a really long time too. I always kind of wanted a variation of the system where you could place work orders, but for other players to get them to do all your milling for you. So not quite the same, but I guess this iteration will do for now. I'm really excited to start work on my crafting empire over here on retail, but because of the way the talent systems work and of course the inspiration, I am leaning towards an all army, which in the chaos of my account is easier said than done. Combining list requirement with the fact that I've forgotten how to play and I don't even know what class I'd like to be, Mop Remix sounded like a really good starting point for me, and it is one that I recommend for anyone in the same boat. I started off by doing what any self-respecting classic player would do, and that is I asked my mum what the deal is over in retail Mop Remix land. So she told me she levels to max from level 10 to all the way to 70 in 2 hours, that I shouldn't loot experience tokens and to watch Manpheus. Now, I explained that Metagoblin actually once commented on my video, and so if I play retail, I'm going to be sticking with him as an information source. But she didn't relent, and so Manpheus it is. This video then, which I'll obviously be linking in the description, goes into loads of detail on the whole 2-hour max level business. Unfortunately, you can't just jump straight in on your first character. The first one takes longer, but your second onwards are actually very fast. It's never 2 hours for me. It takes me about that much time just to deal with my mailbox and gem my gear every few levels. But basically here it is. You create a character, you do the little introduction bit and get a cloak, you jump off the boat, do more little introduction bits, unlock the group finder, and then you queue random heroics. Don't bother looting. I'll put the little list on the screen right now that I cruelly mentioned from the aforementioned video. Go check out the full video though, it actually is really useful and my mum will be pleased. When you get to specific levels, do normal raids. I'm doing Mogishan vaults in the background here. You'll have to excuse how I keep stopping to read my tooltips to try and figure out what my buttons do. I'm not the most experienced monk, and until my first raid, simply pressing Q for spinning crane kick had been absolutely more than effective enough. Now, when the event is over on August 20th, your characters will be released into the wild. It means waiting quite a while. I'm kind of hoping that we'll get the option of moving them in at the start of pre-patch, or at least if you pre-order the War Within, they'll give you the option. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that anyway. I chose Silvermoon EU. This is because I wanted to play Alliance, and so I just went for the highest population server I could find. I've chosen Monk in the video here because I've never tried it before, and I needed to start somewhere. Not gonna lie, my first random heroic was a bit crazy. Everyone just runs, like really runs, and things just die, including me on that first heroic, and no one even rezzed me. I was a bit put off, but after a few, I got into the swing of things. I went Mistweaver, I discovered spinning kick. From that point on, nothing else was really needed. I felt definite pangs of guilt when new players joined my group expecting a healer, only to find some kind of spinning sprint bomb with no intention of doing anything other than, spinning. When you take the loot out of the equation, you can breeze through heroics really fast in Remix. The only problem is when all the loot gets sent to your mailbox, you just gotta sort through it. The raids were basically the same. I tried to heal a little bit at times just to be helpful and all that, but when you look as cool as I do spinning, why would I press any other buttons? Also, I've got small hands, so the one button life is pretty chill. No reaching, no thinking. I've actually made 3 monks now so far. I was full of good intentions to try a demon hunter, but let's be real, it's all about the monk. Maybe at a stretch it's going to be an evoker, just in case, they let you keep the visage up. Maybe they just forgot to put it into beta so far, you never know. But I'm aiming to try one of each class until I hit on something I like, because mindless one button spam is a true representation of retail today, right? So once I have my all army set up, I'm going to be distributing out the professions. A wise person will factor in racial bonuses for this part, and that is what I'm going to recommend that you do. Myself, I'm just going to make all my characters Void Elf and let the chips fall. But for others, definitely look at your racial bonuses and try and match them with professions. First then, to go with 1 per profession, and the chosen main character will be taking cooking and fishing. After you've finished your first round of 1 per profession, extra characters should just take jewel crafting and tailoring. Now, you might be wondering where I'm thinking about getting all these materials from with just 700k. That is a great question, and I'm glad you asked. Starting a new expansion on limited gold, not having played the previous expansion barely at all, you're probably going to want to have a gathering character as well. So 1 character to be herbs and mining, at least for the first week. Just keep the gathering for like a week and then just bin it. Just to clarify though, you don't have to bin the character, just bin the professions and get different ones. I have early access, but we don't yet know exactly what that's going to entail. It may or may not have professions and dungeons and things in it. So I plan to level 2 characters. The chosen one will be main and the second one will be the farmer. I'll likely do the farmer first because what's the rush? There are a lot of specifics profession-wise for the war within. I'll be running through them all on beta in the next week, so definitely look out for some videos. And now I'm just going to clarify a little bit as well around why I'm choosing to go with an all army and why I believe that's the best approach for other classic players looking to start as well. The reason to do this is initially the talent trees really lean into it. You can't max your talents in day 1, and some of the talents are incredibly strong. Looking at things like jewel crafting, you can spec into talents that give you different results from prospecting. This is pretty crazy. The biggest gold always comes early. People spend time at the end of expansions gathering more gold, and they're feeling spendy by the time expansion launch. Having access to multiple professions across multiple characters gives you an opportunity to really tap into that early gold. Particularly as a retail noob, currently anything that can give you even a small advantage while helping you learn how to play the game is really welcome. So the professions I'm most excited about then, I really wanted to go big on Dark Moon cards and Inscription. It's always been a favourite of mine, but you can actually fish cards up and loot them in the WoW event. So I don't know where that is going to really leave the profession. It sounds like it's completely gutted. You can still craft the cards, but if people are collecting them about the profession too, at least from a classic player point of view, this sounds like a really poor profession choice. So right now I'm assuming that Inscription is going to be out. However, maybe there are some things like new things they've put in. So when I do check that one out on beta, I'll definitely be giving a verdict there. I think I'm leaning towards crafting. So crafted, tailoring, blacksmithing, jewel crafting, not so much gems at the beginning, but jewelry, leatherworking, all the crafted items basically. At the start of expansions, these always do really well when people are gearing up. All sales will, as usual, be centered around a single bank character who's going to have a TSM list to enable fast posting. It's really good to set up your bank character in advance, make sure you've got all the bank slots and the biggest bags possible. I'm excited that the sales are going to be region-wide. This means you'll be able to tap into role-playing realms, for example, to give even further possibilities. As the season opens, it'll be time to start looking at consumables, but generally sales for those don't pick up really well until then. I'm going to be spending time on beta this week. I'll be looking at inscription, as I said. I'll also be looking at tailoring, and I'll be doing some guides for leveling loads as soon as I can. The new season of Discovery phase is going to be launching in 2 weeks' time, so it's a really busy time for WoW players. I'm already planning my level 60 content at the moment too. Now, I know I haven't gone into a huge amount of detail here today on the professions themselves. That's something that I'm planning on covering on an individual profession to profession level, as they are so detailed with the talent trees and actually really complicated that I don't think I'd be able to cover that in a 10-minute video. So I hope you did find today's video useful. If you're considering trying out the War Within, then be sure to check out the video in description covering off how to level in 2 hours business. It's definitely worth doing. I hope you found today's video useful, and if you did, please do remember to take a moment just to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye!